Your dog is staring at you again, not barking, not pawing, not doing anything dramatic, just sitting there, looking straight at you. And for a second, it can feel strangely human, like there is a question inside those eyes. Maybe it happens while you are eating dinner, maybe while you are working, maybe late at night when the house is quiet and your dog lifts its head just to watch your face. So what is it doing? Is it asking for food, trying to read your mind, or is something deeper happening in that silent little moment? The answer is not just one thing. When a dog stares at you, it may be asking, waiting, studying, bonding, or even looking for comfort. And sometimes that quiet gaze tells you more about your relationship than any bark ever could. To understand it, we have to start with something simple. Dogs are not just watching where you go, they are watching what you mean. Humans are noisy creatures, even when we are silent. Before you leave the house, your shoulders change. Your hands move toward the same objects. Your eyes shift toward the door. You pick up keys, put on shoes, check your phone, reach for a coat. To you, these are tiny habits. To your dog, they are clues. Dogs are very good at learning patterns that matter to them. If your hand goes to the treat jar, something good may happen. If you stand up quickly, a walk might be coming. So when your dog stares at you, it may be doing something surprisingly practical. It is gathering information. That intense little face at the edge of the room may not be mysterious at all. It may simply be asking, what happens next? But dogs are not only watching objects, they are watching you, your face, your posture, your tone, the way you move when you are relaxed, and the way you move when something is wrong. This is one reason dogs often look back and forth between a person and something unfamiliar. A strange sound outside, a new object on the floor, a visitor at the door. They may glance at the thing, then glance at you, as if your reaction is part of the answer. Scientists often describe this kind of behavior as social referencing. In simple words, your dog may use your face and behavior to help decide how to feel about the world. If you are calm, the dog may relax. If you are tense, the dog may become alert. If you laugh, soften your voice, and move gently, the situation may feel safer. So sometimes, when your dog stares at you, it is not trying to control you. It is checking the emotional weather. Your face becomes a little forecast, safe, exciting, uncertain. Time to follow, time to wait, time to worry. Of course, there is another reason dogs stare, and every dog owner knows this one. Sometimes the stare means, I want something. Food, a walk, a toy under the couch. The door opened. Your attention. Dogs are excellent at learning what works. If staring at you once made you smile, talk, feed, stand up, or reach for the leash, your dog may remember that. Not in a complicated human way, but in the simple, powerful way animals learn. I looked. You responded. Something changed. That is enough. This is why the dinner table stare can become so dramatic. One tiny piece of chicken falls from your plate. Just once. And suddenly the table is sacred, your fork is important, and your face must be watched very, very carefully. But the most beautiful kind of staring is not about food. It is the quiet gaze between a dog and a person who knows them well. The kind that happens when nothing obvious is being asked for. Your dog looks at you, and you look back. No command, no treat, no leash, just a small moment of attention. Research on human-dog bonding has found something remarkable here. Mutual gazing between dogs and their owners can be linked with oxytocin, a hormone involved in social bonding. Oxytocin is often talked about in affection, trust, and closeness. And in dogs and humans, eye contact may help create a kind of positive feedback loop. The dog looks at the human responds with warmth, the bond is reinforced, and the dog may seek that gaze again. This does not mean every stare is a magical love signal. Science is rarely that simple. But it does suggest something extraordinary. Dogs may have learned to use eye contact with humans in a way that reaches directly into our social brain. They do not speak our language, but they have learned one of our oldest forms of connection: looking, being seen, and waiting for a response. And that may be why your dog's stare can feel so different from the stare of almost any other animal. It is not empty. It is not random. It is part observation, part habit, part request, and part relationship. But there is one important thing to know. Not every stare means the same thing. A soft gaze is different from a hard stare. A relaxed dog may have loose eyes, a soft mouth, slow blinking, and a body that feels easy. That kind of look can feel warm, curious, or affectionate. But a stiff dog is different. If the body freezes, the mouth closes tightly, the tail becomes rigid, or the dog is staring without blinking, that may be tension. Especially if the dog is staring at another dog, a stranger, food, or something it wants to guard. In dog language, a hard stare can be a warning. So the meaning is not only in the eyes, it is in the whole body. The ears, tail, mouth, breathing, distance, and situation. With your own dog at home, the everyday stare is usually not threatening. Most of the time it is much more ordinary and much sweeter. Your dog may be asking for dinner, waiting for a walk, checking if you are about to move, or looking for reassurance, or simply resting its attention on the person who matters most in the room. Think about how strange human life must look to a dog. We disappear behind doors. We stare into glowing rectangles. We leave for hours and return carrying bags. We laugh at things they cannot see, cry without injury, and change moods without warning. And through all of it, your dog is trying to understand the pattern of you, your footsteps, your habits, your voice, your face, your eyes. Maybe that is why the stare can feel so tender, because underneath it, there may be a simple question: are we okay? And when you look back kindly, maybe the answer becomes yes. So the next time your dog stares at you from across the room, do not rush to call it weird. Look at the body. Look at the moment. Look at what happened right before. Maybe your dog wants a snack, wants a walk, or is reading your next move. Or maybe, for a few quiet seconds, it is simply sharing the oldest kind of conversation there is. No words, just two living beings looking back at each other. And in your dog's world, that may be enough to say, I see you, I trust you, I am still here, and I am waiting to see what you do next. Does your dog stare at you like it is trying to send a message? Tell me when it happens most. At dinner? At the door? Or in those quiet moments when you suddenly realize you are being watched?